Hey there, welcome to the Unreal Forge. Today, we're diving into everything you need to know about MetaHuman, how to create, customize, dress them up, and bring them to life. Whether you're new or looking to level up, this tutorial has got you covered. Let's get started. I'll first create a new project to show you everything from scratch. If you already know how to make a MetaHuman, you can skip to MetaTailor using the timestamp in the video description. If you're a beginner, I'll walk you through everything step by step. First, I'll create a new project using the third-person game template and name it Tutorial. First, let's create a basic level where we'll import our MetaHuman. Now I'll go to Project Settings and set our level in Maps and Modes. This ensures that the correct level loads every time we launch the project. Now let's install the MetaHuman plugin for Unreal Engine. Open the Epic Games launcher, go to your library and search for MetaHuman. If the plugin doesn't appear in your library, go back to Unreal Engine, open the Fab Marketplace, and search for MetaHuman. The correct plugin should be the first result, add it to your library, then return to the Epic Games launcher and install it for your engine. Since I already have it installed, I'm getting this error. Once it's installed, go back to your project, open Edit, then Plugins, and search for MetaHuman. Make sure to enable all of them. It will prompt you to restart. Click Restart Now. Once Unreal Engine reopens, the next step is to open Quixel Bridge. But before that, let's set up some basic lighting. I'll open the Environment Light Mixer, add all the necessary lights from here, and enable Volumetric Fog as well. Let's also add a floor, so we have a surface to place our MetaHuman on. Finally, open Quixel Bridge. On the left side, click on MetaHumans. Here you'll find a variety of ready-to-use MetaHumans that you can download and start working with. But instead of using a preset, I'll show you how to customize one. Select any MetaHuman from the list, then click Start MHC. This will take you to the MetaHuman Creator website. If you're opening the MetaHuman Creator website for the first time, you may need to create an account. After that, select the Unreal Engine version you're using for your project. Then click Launch MetaHuman Creator. It takes a while to load because MetaHuman Creator runs on powerful online servers instead of your PC. It's streaming high-quality characters in real time, so the speed depends on your internet and server traffic. Here, just like in Quixel Bridge, we have a list of presets. I'll select Danielle from the list and click Create Selected. The button is grayed out at first, so we need to wait until it turns blue. Once it's active, we'll be able to customize the model. Here's our character. The viewport might feel a bit laggy at first because MetaHuman models are quite detailed. Navigation works just like the Unreal Engine viewport, so you can move around easily. Some shortcuts are different from Unreal Engine, but all the hotkeys are listed here, making navigation easy. The first feature here is Blend. You can select 3 random characters and blend them to create a new one. But for now, I'll keep this character as it is. Next, we have Skin Color, where we can adjust the character's skin tone. After that, we can change the eye color. I won't go into too much detail since it's pretty straightforward, just like customizing a character in a game. We can also add makeup, but since I prefer a natural look, I won't make any changes. Next, we can change the hairstyle. I'll go with this one because it looks good on our character. We can also change the hair color. Just pick any color you like. This part is the hardest for me. I always struggle to decide which eyebrows look best. Next, we have eyelashes. There are a few presets to choose from, so just pick the one that looks best. If you want your female character to have a mustache or beard, you can try adding that too. Now we have proportions, but I won't make any changes here. Before we move to MetaTailor for custom clothes, there are a few steps we need to complete in MetaHuman Creator first. MetaHuman Creator includes some basic clothing options, but they aren't very customizable. To prepare for custom outfits in MetaTailor, set top and bottoms to none. For shoes, there's no none option, so just select flip-flops instead. At the top, you can also rename your MetaHuman if you'd like. I'll rename this one to Eva. Now just click on My MetaHumans to save your MetaHuman to your library. Once that's done, let's head back to Unreal Engine. I already have Quixel Bridge open. On the left, I'll click My MetaHumans. Here's Eva, the MetaHuman I just saved. Now we can choose the character quality. I'll go with Cinematic for the best visuals. If you need better performance, you can pick high or medium instead. We're done with the MetaHuman Creator website, so I'll close it. Now I'll reopen Quixelbridge and download our MetaHuman. Keep in mind that customized characters need to be generated first before the download starts. This process can take a while, so be patient. It took 16 minutes to generate and download. Now I'll click the Add button to bring it into Unreal Engine. You'll see a prompt in the bottom right corner of Unreal Engine 5. Click Import, then select the skeletal mesh. For this model, I'll choose FMED-UNW Body. Once you've selected the skeletal mesh, just click Import. This part is new to me, so I'm not sure what to select here. I'll select Float Curve and see what happens. The MetaHuman imported without any issues, so we can just ignore the data table for now. Now there's a new folder in the content browser called MetaHumans, where all our imported MetaHumans are stored. Here's a file called bp_eva, which is our MetaHuman. Now just drag this blueprint into the viewport. Once again, you'll see a prompt in the bottom right corner of Unreal Engine. Just click Enable Missing on all the prompts. Importing a MetaHuman into the viewport can cause some lag the first time, but that's normal. No need to worry. The engine will ask for a restart, so just click Restart Now, and don't forget to save your progress before restarting. Now let's drag our MetaHuman into the scene again. Now our MetaHuman is ready for a new outfit. But before that, let's remove the flip-flops to make sure we can add new shoes later. I'll adjust her position so she stands properly on the surface. Next, I'll go to the outliner and click Edit BP_Eva. This will open the MetaHuman blueprint, where we can make changes. Now select her feet, then go to the Details panel on the right side. Under the Mesh section, simply remove the skeletal mesh asset. And don't forget to compile and save before closing the blueprint. The most important step, always make sure your MetaHuman's location and rotation are set to 0 for all 3 axes. If they aren't, your MetaHuman could end up in a random spot, making it nearly impossible to customize the outfit in MetaTailor. I move the lighting system to the side to make sure she's standing properly and not floating. Sometimes the grid can get in the way. To remove it, click the Show button in the viewport and uncheck Grid. Now select your MetaHuman, then go to File, and then Export Selected. I'll export it to the desktop and I will create a new folder named MetaHuman. Click Save, then change FBX compatibility from 2013 to 2018. Also, uncheck everything that's selected since we don't need any of that. Now I'll close Unreal Engine. Now, you'll need MetaTailor. I'll provide the download link in the video description. It's free, but if you're using it for the first time, you'll need to create an account. Once you've downloaded MetaTailor, extract the files. If your MetaTailor doesn't have all the files, like you see in my video, just click on Launcher and it will download everything you need. Once it's ready, it usually pops up on its own, but if it doesn't, I'll open it from my taskbar and click Install manually. Now click Play and MetaTailor will launch. My account is already logged in, so I'm ready to go. I'll delete my old project and create a new one so we can start from scratch. You probably saw this coming. Yup. Naming it Tutorial again. Some traditions never change. Now I'll delete the old mesh and head over to Import to bring in the latest mesh we exported from Unreal Engine. Now just left-click on Avatar, then navigate to Desktop or wherever you exported your MetaHuman. MetaTailor supports multiple file formats, but I prefer FBX, and for good reason. Our MetaHuman is now imported. For materials, there's nothing to tweak, just click Next. Same goes for the next step. No changes needed, so just hit Next Step again. Now we have all the bone names listed. They're usually correct, except for one bone that might need manual fixing. Just double-check and adjust it if needed. If you zoom in and notice that the nose tip bone is inside the mesh, don't worry. Navigation works just like Unreal Engine, so it should feel familiar. Just select the bone, move it to the correct position, and then click Next Step. And now we're all set. The next step is to find some outfits for your model. I'm using this awesome armor from Sketchfab. Huge shout out to Meest for creating and sharing it for free. You can find the download link in my video description, and be sure to check out his Sketchfab page for more amazing assets. Once you find the perfect outfit for your MetaHuman, download it in either FBX or GLTF format. MetaTailor fully supports both. Now head back to MetaTailor, click on Import, then select Cloth Accessory. Navigate to the folder where you downloaded and extracted your outfit. When you import the outfit, the first thing you'll see is the material settings. Here you can adjust the hue, saturation, and other properties. At the bottom, you'll find texture maps. If you want, you can apply all of them. But for now, I'll just apply the color map to get a quick idea of how the outfit looks on our character. This outfit comes with 3 materials, but keep in mind that some outfits may have only 1 material, while others can have 5 or more. It all depends on how the asset was created. If you want, you can add all the texture maps for better detail, but I'm just going to move on to the next step. Now we need to select the correct category for the clothing or accessory we imported. Since this is armor, I'll select dress, and then we can move on to the next step. Now we need to adjust the size of the armor to fit our character properly. Make sure it isn't too big or too small. Getting the right fit here is important, because any mismatch could cause issues when we move on to posing the character. You can watch as I carefully adjust the outfit to fit perfectly. I'm not skipping any steps, so you can follow along without missing anything. There are a few overlaps, but that's okay. We can fix them in the posing stage. In fact, sometimes these overlaps are necessary to ensure the outfit fits correctly. The outfit looks good to me, so I'll press Confirm. Now I'll adjust the character's pose to match the dress properly. Here, we have a gizmo for each bone in our character's body. I'll carefully adjust them to fit the outfit properly. I won't fast forward the video so beginners can follow along easily. The arms are done. Now I'll adjust the upper body a little. These steps are pretty simple, but the difficulty can vary depending on how complex the outfit is. Like I mentioned before, small overlaps are fine for outfits. Once you're happy with how everything fits, just press Confirm and move on to the next step. Now you can see that all the overlaps are fixed and we're good to go. If you want, you can make further adjustments by selecting your outfit. Since I have the Pro version, all the mesh tools are unlocked, but if you're using the trial version, you might only have access to the Grab tool. Let's move on to exporting so I can show you how to import this outfit into Unreal Engine. Just go to Export. No need to change any settings, whether you're using the free trial or the Pro version. This method works great for both. Now choose the export path. I'm creating a new folder inside the location where I extracted my outfit. Then, let's give this file a name. I'll name it Noble Armor. We don't need to change any settings here, so just click Export. Now I'll close MetaTailor and move to Blender. Here, we need to do a very simple step to ensure we don't face any errors inside Unreal Engine. Go to File, Import, and then FBX, then select the file we just exported from MetaTailor. You can uncheck animation if you want, but I'm not sure if it affects the import process. Here's our model. Now select the armature first, then hold Shift and select the armor mesh. Make sure you only select the armature, clothes, and accessories you need for your MetaHuman in Unreal Engine. Don't select the character mesh, or it might cause issues inside Unreal Engine. Now go to File, Export, FBX, and make sure to follow my export settings to avoid any issues in Unreal Engine. I'm creating a new folder to keep things organized and avoid accidentally importing the wrong model into Unreal Engine. After naming the model, go to the right side panel, check Selected Objects, then scroll down and uncheck Animation. Inside the Armature section, uncheck Add Leaf Bones. And now we're ready to export our outfit. Now that we're done in Blender, let's head back to Unreal Engine. Create a new folder in the content browser to keep all your outfits organized, and then we'll import our outfit into Unreal Engine. Open File Explorer, navigate to the folder where we exported our FBX file, then simply drag and drop it into the content browser in Unreal Engine. When the import window appears, scroll down to the skeleton section and select the MetaHuman base skeleton. This ensures the outfit is correctly rigged to our MetaHuman. Then click Import. The outfit imports with basic textures and multiple materials, but since we need to retexture it properly in Unreal Engine, let's also import the texture files. First, let's apply the outfit to our MetaHuman. Open the blueprint by clicking Edit BP EVA in the outliner, then go to the Viewport tab inside the Blueprint Editor. In the Components panel, select Torso. Since the Blueprint Editor takes up a lot of space, I'll make the window smaller. Now locate the skeletal mesh file inside your outfit folder, then simply drag and drop it into the skeletal mesh asset slot in the Blueprint Editor. Now just click Compile and Save, and we have our MetaHuman fully rigged with the outfit. But right now the texture looks a bit off. Time to fix that. Open any material from the imported ones, or create a new material if needed. Then, apply all the texture maps like I'm doing here to get the proper look. Just drag all the texture maps into the Material Graph Editor and connect them to the correct inputs. Once you're done, select the material, change the shading model from Default Lit to Cloth, and then right-click on the RGB output of the color texture map and connect it to Cloth as well. Now just click Apply and Save, and repeat the same process for each material needed for the dress. Quick tip, if your outfit has multiple materials using the same textures, just double-click on the outfit's skeletal mesh and replace the material in each matching slot to save time. Now you can save your armor and check out the results. Time to apply the same process to the remaining materials. I'll fast forward this part since it's super easy and follows the exact same steps for all materials. Now let's check if the outfit is properly rigged. I'll create a sequencer and drag the model inside to test the animation. MetaHumans come with a built-in control rig, which makes animation much easier. Let's use it to test the outfit. Perfect. Now, let me walk you through the export steps for those using the Pro version of MetaTailor. First, select the export path and name your file. Next, exclude the avatar from the export list. If you're using Unreal Engine 5.5, enable the Unreal 5.5 rotation fix. This lets you skip the Blender step entirely. Keep in mind, the free version of MetaTailor limits you to 5 exports every 30 days, while the Pro version offers unlimited exports. So if you're just learning, use those 5 exports wisely. But if you're working on a big project, the Pro subscription is definitely worth considering. And no, this video isn't sponsored by MetaTailor. I just enjoy making quality tutorials for those who want to learn. Now I'm creating a new folder to import our outfit and following the same steps as before, importing, applying it to our character, and setting up the textures. Now let's move on to animation. There are several ways to animate a MetaHuman. The first is Live Link, but since it only works with an iPhone, and I don't have one, I use a different method to lip sync my characters. And if your clothes aren't visible from both sides, just open the material and enable two-sided. That should fix it. Do this step for all of your materials if needed to make sure everything looks right. And back to the sequencer. Here we have face and body. To animate the face, we need a recorded audio file. Go to the content browser and import the audio file you want to use for your character. I have the audio file saved in the same folder where I exported my MetaHuman for MetaTailor. So I'll just drag and drop it into the content browser. Now right-click on an empty area in the content browser, go to MetaHuman Animation, and select MetaHuman Performance from the list. You can rename it or leave it as is, totally up to you. Now double-click to open it, and this window will pop up. The first step here is to change the input type. We're using an audio file, so set the input type to audio. And now, select the audio file we just imported for our character. In my case, it's Eva. Next, select the visualization mesh. Choose your MetaHuman's face mesh from the list to animate it. Now just click the Process button. It usually takes only a few seconds, but the processing time depends on the length of your audio. Now click on Export Animation. I usually save it in the same folder for better organization. Rename it if you want, or just leave it as is. Now click Save, and on the next window, don't change anything. Just press Create. Now save and close this window. In Sequencer, click the drop-down button to delete the control rig. Then click the plus button, go to Animation, and select the animation we just created. I'll get closer to our model, and if we want, we can play the animation. Now let's add an audio track to the sequencer so we can check if the audio is syncing perfectly. Go to the Add button, then select Add Audio Track and choose the same audio file we used for our face animation.
Hard work and patience forge the sharpest blade.
Let's play it back and check if everything syncs perfectly.
Hard work and patience forge the sharpest blade.
And that's the best and easiest way to lip sync your character. I'm not sure if MetaHuman supports all languages for audio syncing, but it works perfectly with English. Now let me show you a method to animate your character without using a camera or a motion capture suit like Rococo or Xsens. Since we've already exported our MetaHuman as an FBX, we can move on to Blender. We have our model imported here. Make sure nothing is selected, then select only the face mesh and body mesh. Press Ctrl+J to combine them into a single mesh. Now we can export this combined mesh as an FBX. Go to File, Export, FBX, and make sure to use the same export settings we applied earlier for the outfit. I created a new folder named Mixamo to keep things organized, so I know exactly which model to upload to the Mixamo website. I'll provide the link to the website in the description. You'll need to log in using your Adobe account, and once you're in, you can upload your character. Click Upload and navigate to the folder where you exported your MetaHuman. The processing time may vary depending on the complexity of your mesh. Now click Next, then place the markers as I do. You can also refer to the screenshot provided by the website for guidance, and click Next again. It will take some time to rig our model, allowing us to use the animation presets from this website, which are completely free. And here we have our model, along with a huge list of animations we can use. I'll select a random one just to demonstrate how you can apply these animations to your MetaHuman. I think I'll use this animation. I was looking for a better one, but since the video is getting quite long, and I prefer explaining things clearly rather than wasting your time, let's just download this one. No need to change any settings here. Just click Download, and then we'll head back to Unreal Engine. And make sure the animation finishes downloading before closing your browser. In the Content browser, I'll navigate to my Animes folder and create a new folder named Body. Now I'll go to the folder where we downloaded our animation and simply drag and drop it into the Content browser. Here, don't make any changes, just click Import. We don't need to select the MetaHuman skeleton because we used Mixamo's Auto Rigger to create this animation, so we have to import it with the default skeleton. And here we have our animation sequence. Right-click on it, then go to Retarget Animation. In this window, select the MetaHuman body skeleton named F_med_UNW_body, which we used earlier when importing into Unreal Engine. Now, select the animation from the list below and click Export Animation. To keep my project organized, I'll create a new folder inside the Animes folder named Retargeted, where I'll save the exported animation. No need to make any changes here. Just click Export and in the next window, press Export again. We have our animation for MetaHuman. Now go back to Sequencer, select Body, delete the control rig, then click the plus button, go to Animation, and I forgot the animation name. Oh, it's called Talking Anim. Now I'll go back to Sequencer and select the animation again. And now the animation is added. Let me get closer, play the animation, and see how the result looks.
Hard work and patience forge the sharpest blade.
She looks like she's explaining something, which is perfect for dialogue animations. If you want to refine the animation, you can go to the plus button in Sequencer, select Control Rig, enable Layered, and then add the MetaHuman Control Rig. This will give you full control over tweaking individual movements and making adjustments to match your scene perfectly. You just need to keyframe any changes you make to your character, and they'll be applied to the existing animation. This makes animating your MetaHuman an easy and flexible process. For example, let me show you how this works in action. I accidentally broke her arm, but that was just to show you that you can make changes to an existing animation. There are different ways to animate a MetaHuman, but I use this method in case you don't have a Rococo suit or an expensive camera for motion capture. Even with this method, you can achieve perfect results, or even better, depending on the effort you put into refining your animation. If you made it this far, now let me show you how to enable physics for your clothes. I didn't cover this earlier because I wanted to keep the process focused on getting the outfit set up first, but now let's make sure it actually moves naturally in Unreal Engine. To enable cloth physics, first, open the skeletal mesh of your outfit. Select the part of the dress where you want to enable physics, then right-click and choose Create Clothing Data from Section. In the Physics Asset section, select UNW Body as the physics asset, then press Create. Right-click again, go to Apply Clothing Data, and select the clothing data we just created. Now select the same clothing data from the left panel, then activate Cloth Paint from the top toolbar. You'll see all the settings for this tool on the left. We're going to use the Brush tool to paint the areas of the dress where we want physics to be applied. Keep the brush radius around 20, and when painting, make sure not to paint the entire dress area highlighted in pink. If you do, that part of the dress will lose its structure and fall to the ground. When painting areas closer to the waist, decrease the brush size and paint carefully to ensure only the lower parts of the dress have physics while keeping the upper section stable. Once you're done painting, click on Deactivate Cloth Paint to exit the painting mode. And now, our armor is no longer static. It reacts dynamically to movement. Now here's the deal. If this video hits 50,000 views and 1,237 likes, I'll stop using AI voiceovers and start using my own voice in future videos. I always try to make these tutorials as easy and to the point as possible, so if this helped you out, let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I try to read and reply to as many as I can. That's it for now. Keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.